The ambitious Punani perspective. Okay, some of my favorite people in the entire world are black women. Get into it. My other favorites are black men, but that's not the point right now. Okay? I just love black people with my whole heart.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Naysay with the Punani perspective. This is the channel where pop culture meets history. I hope you enjoy today's show.
All right, okay, so let's get into it. Cracking the whip. Cracking the whip. What do I mean? I'm a big hip-hop fan, right? So, when something new comes out from an artist that I really like, I tend to go and listen to the entire album before I even think about purchasing one or two or maybe even three songs. So, such is the case for me when I listened to the new album Damn by Kendrick Lamar. Needless to say, there were 3 tracks on it I had to have. One in particular is the song entitled Fear. F-E-A-R. Fear. Fear is a 3-part account documenting 3 separate incidents of child abuse. Child abuse, people. Check what I'm saying. Kendrick Lamar did a rap about over 7 minutes long, documenting 3 separate incidents of child abuse. In the first verse, he's talking about the fear that he experienced as a 7-year-old child at the hands of, more than likely his mother. And he was surrounded by this type of abuse in the home. And he speaks of getting his ass beat. Literally, the very first verse opens up with the words, "I beat your ass." Now, I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about this, but just please stay with me a little while and follow me. A young man at 7 years old is experiencing child abuse. And as a grown man, he's documenting this in his music. Now, to say that this actually happened to Kendrick Lamar, I'm not saying that. But he's documenting some stuff that can happen, has happened, and sadly will happen, right? And he says, his mother said, "I beat your ass." And these are the reasons why she said that. For talking back, for jumping on the couch, coming home with tears after he got into a fight with 2 other kids in the street. And she said, "I beat your ass for coming home. You better go back out there," right? This is in the song. Just listen to the words. Don't get caught up in the beat, right? She said, if you come home crying after you get your ass beat in the street, I'm going to beat your ass again. Right? She said, "I'll beat your ass if your homework isn't done, if you get your Jordans dirty and I just bought them, if the teacher calls, if you don't finish your pizza, if the TV is too loud." I mean, all of these things. And she also said, "I beat your ass if you tell your father." The hook of the song tells how he copes with the abuse. And I know you already can follow the bouncing ball. He copes with it by getting high and having sex. He literally says, "If I could smoke the fear away, I roll the MFer up." Then he said, "Life's a bitch, pull them panties to the side now." So he's telling you how he's dealing with child abuse at 7. He's going to smoke, he's going to get high, and he's going to have sex to get rid of the fear, to run away from the fear. Then he says, "I don't think I could find a way to make it on this earth." So you contemplating dying, suicide, what? So that equals hopelessness. That level of fear equals hopelessness, right? So in the second verse, I'll tell you, I broke this thing down. In the second verse, he expresses his fear of dying at 17 from gang violence and police brutality. He said, "Yeah, in my neighborhood, I got to worry about, what colors I wear." But then he also demonstrates how he has to worry about police brutality at 17. 7, child abuse in the home. 17, you got the fear of dying at the hands of police and guys in your neighborhood. He said he probably would die. So that's another level of hopelessness at 17. Then in the third verse, Kendrick at 27, right? You see the 7, the 17, and the 27? So at 27, Kendrick Lamar discusses how he's made it now, how he's got this money and all of these things, But his fears are not from child abuse anymore, and his fears are not from, dying at the hands of gang violence and police brutality, but he has fears and anxieties and lack of confidence in himself and his abilities, and the fear of losing the good life he's now attained through his talent and his skill set. He doesn't want to lose that for himself, nor does he want to lose it for his family. So he mentions stars, and he specifically mentions Rihanna, how she put her faith and trust in accountants who robbed her of her money. So he has that level of fear. So he also ensures the listener, you understand, because I don't get caught up in the beat, I listen. He ensures the listener that although he can well afford all of these nice accoutrements of the world, he's not even going to buy a Lexus, because he's fearful of sleeping from hall to hall. And he said, I am determined not to be on Section 8 again, and not to have my mama live on Section 8 again. So that 7, that number is big for me personally. I was born on the 7th day, and I am the 7th member of my family. 7 symbolizes the day of completion. Completion. It is done. It is finished. It is perfect. So he shows you at 7, and then at 17, and then again at 27. Now, I'm not saying y'all got to be some numerologist specialist or anything like that, but I'm just letting you all know that when you listen to this song, please listen to it with an open mind. You know how I always say, mind wide open. Don't go into this thing with a myopic view. Oh, yo, I'm just get caught up in a beat. Bam, bam, bam. It's Kendrick Lamar. He reminds me of Guru from Gang Starr in this song. So just understand the science behind it, the depth of these words, and how these type of abuses actually affect our community. Right? Men, ladies, listen to me. Men are vulnerable. Men can cry. Men can express pain. Just like they can express strength and joy, they have pain too. They deal with some stuff we can't even imagine. Men are dealing with physical abuse. Men are dealing with sexual abuse. And some men are dealing with, mental health issues. So man up, be tough, be strong. Punching a little boy in his chest at 5 years old, talking about stop crying. All right, I'm not saying we want to raise punks. Please be advised. I'm not saying that. But you got to teeter-totter on that line, ladies and gentlemen. Understand that men have pain too. Okay, young boys have pain too. So I just want you all to know that I love you, because that song really got to me, all right? So my quote for today comes from none other than Mr. Nelson Mandela, who said this: money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. So if you don't have the freedom to run around and, make the money, hey, there's no success, right? So if the system was set up equally, then my next topic would be a non-factor, right? However, such is not the case. So let me segue into this. And the Afro Pick Award goes to, right, Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson. If you don't know him, just Google schmoogle him. He's Dr. Claude Anderson. And he's written countless books and, a lot of essays on black people getting reparations, right? And he spoke of how the U.S. Constitution is one thing for white people and another thing for black people. I've spoken about this on They Say before, but what I didn't understand is how he broke it down. He said, we have 2 constitutions. Yeah, not 2 separate ways of people being treated in one constitution. No, 2 constitutions. So he broke it down like this. The first constitution, which includes the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights, which was created in 1789 by the so-called founding fathers, right? He said the social construct of the first constitution has never changed. It continued to be an affirmative action plan for whites protected by the United States Supreme Court. Check it. File that in your memory bank. Boom. The second constitution was laid out by radical Republicans in the mid-1860s during the 10-year period of Reconstruction after the American Civil War. It would be in the operative word, elevated black people to equal status with whites and provided some. Check the word. Some of the rights, privileges, and economic benefits that the first Constitution denied blacks. Okay? However, the Supreme Court, whose members were all white males who were or who had been slaveholders, rendered a null and void ruling, thereby destroying every effort by the radical Republicans. The Supreme Court did not have the authority to rule on the constitutional amendments, the 13, 14, and 15, but they effectively denied and limited black use of those amendments over hundreds of years by permitting states' rights arguments. That's what a lot of these governors are fighting for now, states' rights. Understand the science behind this diabolical nation we live in, right? And they forced blacks into peonage, being peons, and allowed the violence and intimidation of groups such as the KKK to fester and define the years of segregation in the South through the Jim Crow era, right? So let me break it down for you, because this thing was so intriguing to me while I was reading it. The Reconstruction Amendments are as follows. The 13th Amendment. If you don't know the 13th Amendment, I'm here to let you know we're not free. If you go to jail, you're a slave. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Boom, bow, bow, right? The 14th Amendment, those equal protection amendments like Roe v. Wade, Brown versus the Board of Ed, all of those things, those equal protection rights, Roe v. Wade, and which is the reproductive thing, right? Okay, so that's the 14th Amendment. 13th, slavery. 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law. And the 15th Amendment, in a nutshell, is the rights of citizens of the U.S. to vote, and you shall not be denied or abridged based on your race, your color, previous condition of servitude, meaning if you were a slave, or blah, 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 right? But these things, what we're still fighting for, do you understand, is not, damn separate but equal. Out of the window, because you still have children, and all throughout this country, black kids are going to certain schools who have less than white kids, no more than 3 or 4 miles away, if that far away, right? So just marinate on that. Check out Dr. Claude Anderson. All right, I'm always big on buying, right? Purchasing from black people and saying goodbye to white people, to their stores, to their products, to giving them our money. Do you understand? The economic power is in our hands. So I don't have to belabor the point. This is one of my big strong suits. I love it. I believe in it. I practice it. Just study the 4th principle of Kwanzaa, which is to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. It's all about togetherness. All right. Thank you so much. Food for thought. Please be advised. Fault finders are not good fact finders. Fault finders. I find fault in you, but I don't even look for the real proof to find why I feel this way, right? It's all hearsay or something stupid like that. You don't like me because so-and-so said they don't like me. But once you sit down and have a conversation with me and you get to know me, you're like, you know what? She ain't that bad. What are you tripping for? So that's what I'm saying. Fault finders are not good fact finders. People would rather believe a juicy lie than the plain truth, right? That juicy lie is real appealing. But the plain truth is boring. Nobody wants to hear, all she do is sit in the house and go to church on Sundays. They want to hear that you in the club dropping it, like it's hot. So, this is the example that I want to give. That dude is bugged out because he drink too much, right? Have you ever considered that dude drinks too much because he has serious problems? He has mental health problems? Something going on up there? He's not bugged out because he's drinking. He's drinking because he's bugged out. And he's bugged out because he's thinking about the things that he went through. I just opened up with the whole Kendrick Lamar thing, get into the science of this thing, right? It's all connected. You see people on the street and you say, I don't know if you've done it, but I have. How did this guy get to this point where he's literally sleeping on the train? And if you're from New York City, you tend to take the same trains, tend to sit in the same car, so you tend to see the same people. Y'all see this dude every other day. Why is he always here? I've always asked myself, I wonder what happened in his life that made this man live on the train. Then you see those people who are clearly living homeless out in the street, but they're very talented. They can sing or whatever they can do. You wonder, like, yo, what's going on, right? So these people are in these situations for a variety of reasons. So mental health problems in our community, it needs to be discussed. But we don't. We put Uncle so-and-so in the room and lock the door and send him the food. Y'all saw Soul Food. You act like he doesn't exist. Or you say, oh, that's so-and-so. He ain't crazy. He just act like that. No, he got issues. We can no longer, afford to walk around as if all is well. Because some of us are falling apart. And we have to be able to see it, right? Don't be dismissive of that. People have pain. We have become so immersed in our daily lives that we fail to see the pain in our own families. Some people are dealing with the loss of a child, the loss of a spouse, the loss of a job. Some people are dealing with, just the loss of hope. Like, the world is falling apart. Some people take that to heart. And people express it in different ways. So, a confused mind causes poor eyesight. If you don't think well, if you don't think clear, you can't see that well. You can't see clearly. Because your mind is all scrambled. Your thoughts are scrambled. Your vision is blurred as a result. So when you are a victim of any type of stronghold, any type, you cannot see clearly. You can't. Remember that song, I can see clearly now and the rain is gone. I'm not going to sing because, I can't sing that well. I know all the lyrics. Sometimes I'm always wrong with the lyrics. But, you get the gist of it, right? I can see clearly now and the rain. You know that song, right? But when you think about the song, just listen. The lyrics are this. I'm not going to sing them. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way, right? Gone are the dark clouds that had me down. It's going to be a bright day, right? Just think about how beautiful that is. You can see clearly because you now can see the obstacles. People who can't see clearly, they don't even see the obstacles. It's just like they're bumping into stuff, right? Boom. They can't even see the obstacles, but now when you see clearly, you can see the obstacles, so you can, navigate around that thing. That's that orange cone in that highway. You can see it. But when the rain is coming down and it's dark on the highway, you're in some dark town, no lights, you can't see that damn cone sometimes in front of you. You damn sure can't see that pothole, right? So you can't see the obstacles in your way, right? Check what else it says in that song. Oh, yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's going to be a bright day. Hey, how great are those lyrics, right? First, you can see clearly and you can see the obstacles. And you said the dark clouds that had you down are no more. They're gone. It's going to be bright. Then you say, oh yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. The bad feelings have disappeared. The rainbow I've been praying for. God gives you that rainbow when it's all well, right? The rainbow I've been praying for is here. It's going to be a bright day. So I just want you all to know there's always hope. Kendrick in that song, you see how it's tying together, ladies and gentlemen? He didn't have hope. At 17, he was getting his ass beaten. His mama told him, I'm going to beat your ass. And she gave him 1,000 reasons why she was going to beat his ass. And then she told him, don't even try to seek help. And you better not call your father because I'm going to beat your ass if you call your father. She gave him no hope, no way out of the pain. Right? The neighborhood he lived in didn't give him any hope. The guys he hung around with, the cops who were supposed to protect him, hopelessness, right? 17. Now you make it 27. You all good. You good. You good. You think you could trust people? Nah. He told you and he said it. Look at the lyrics. Rihanna did it. I'm not making that mistake. I'm not going to be living from hall to hall. Homelessness, hopelessness, helpless. He said, I'm not doing it. Right? He said, I made this money. I'm going to manage it myself. I'm going to be successful and I'm going to keep it for me and my family. Right? Hope. There's hope in our people. You just gotta know it. You gotta feel it. You gotta want it. And you gotta teach it, right? I come here every week because I know that there is hope. Right? Don't make me cry. I'll make my damn self cry, right? I know there's hope in our people. And I'm so passionate about this thing because do you understand how our foremothers and our forefathers had to have that level of hope? They had to hope for us. And we out here killing each other, right? Y'all forgive me. Gosh, I'm an emotional wreck right now. Are we that closed off that we can't see our own people around us dealing with some levels of pain? Now, before I start, y'all give me a second, please. I don't even know why I'm so damn emotional. I think it's because, I gotta be honest, right? Because I come here, I gotta be honest, right? My dad is no more. My dad died. And his birthday is 4/26. So, like, around this time, oh gosh. So, I love you. Peace and blessings. Hope to see you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Naysay with the Punani Perspective. It is my promise to all of you that I will do my best to enlighten and inform and to make you proud. It is my perspective. Peace and blessings. I love you. See you next week. Mwah!
Okay? I just love black people with my whole heart.